Now let's create a sidebar for this MERN stack application. So when we go to the projects, you can see over here, we need to basically create, like, when you sign in, you want to basically go to the dashboard page. So like, suppose if I try to sign in with Google, I basically try to sign in here. When I sign in, so like here, and like I'm over here, I have to go to the dashboard, which is private, right? Now over here we have this question, and then tab is equal to profile, right? So this is what we need. There's like a tab, we need a profile, and then there's another one, and this is exactly what we need. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go here. We're gonna close all these things. So this is the private route that we created. Remember, outlet. We have return current user, and then if the current user exists, then go to the outlet. If not, then navigate to the sign-in page. Exactly. So let's go back here, close all, and let's collapse this. So we'll collapse this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the client, and we're going to go to the source, pages. Over here, this is the dashboard, right? We're going to fix up the dashboard. So over here, you can see that there's a dashboard. Now what you want to do is you want to have some extra things here. So first of all, import. We're gonna have some important things. So right now, what we have here is React from React, right? Import React from React. So we have to try to get the URL. You see this? You just see this tab is equal to profile. We basically need profile. So inspect console. We need that in our console. To do this, it's pretty simple. We go, and first of all, we go to this, and we could just say import React from React, and we can also say import use location, and then that is from React router DOM. So basically you could just say React router DOM. And another thing that we could use is this initialization for this. So const location is equal to use location, and then we have the state. So we have const tab, set tab, and then we have use state, which is, we could basically say use state, and right now it's empty. So this is the thing. Over here we have from import use state, and we also need use effect hook. So now let me tell you what's the reason for use state hook and use effect hook. Now this is where we're gonna have this tab value. Now the use effect will constantly update every single time you visit this page, and you have this callback, right? And it's basically has this dependency array. It's based on the fact that the location of the search location dot search will change. So now check this out. Now suppose if I have we can just have URL params. Now const URL params, right? Because we basically need new, and you can use this JavaScript constructor search params. So URL search params, and then we have location dot search. Okay, now that we have this, we could have const tab from URL is equal to URL params, right? And over here we basically got the location dot search, right? Now over here we have URL params dot get, and we could just get the tab. Now what do you mean by this? Let me explain. Look at this. Over here we have tab, right? The name of the thing is tab, and the value is profile. So right now, just ignore all of this stuff. It's gonna give you some problems, but when everything is completed, you'll get your response. So right here I have this, which is good. So if I say if the tab from URL is, has some value, you just set the tab to tab from URL. Now I hope you understand this part. This is basically the use effect, and you could essentially console.log it right here. So console.log, you could just say tab from URL, or basically tab. Okay, right now I saw some problem. So we have use effect from React router down. We didn't spell React properly. So React. Okay, now everything should be fine. You can see we have profile. This is amazing. Tab is equal to profile. If I say stats, now you can see stats comes, which is great. I mean, this is perfect. We're grabbing that value from the URL, and we could use this over here accordingly. Now over here in the div, you want to basically create a sidebar. So we have this cross, and we could say div, and we could have a class name, and we could have a minimum height screen, minimum height screen, and we have right now what we want to do inside here, we want to put it in another div. So this one will contain a sidebar, so we could just say div, and we could have this over here. We could just say yeah, so what we're gonna have is a comment sidebar. Yeah, and right after this div we have a profile section. So we have profile ... So there's like different tabs. I'm gonna make you understand this right now. So let me just type this in. So I have to say if the tab, the tab state, if that tab is equal to profile, so it's gonna equal to different things, right? So right now, if I say if it's equals to profile, okay. So if that is possible, we're gonna have to render some component over here, which is, we're gonna create two different components. So, so one is going to be called, if you go to the component section, one is going to be called dash sidebar .jsx wrap c. Okay. Okay. And the second thing is going to be called dash profile .jsx. Now you could also have raf c, and we have dash profile, right? Okay. Now the thing is, now we want to actually add them here, right? These components. So we say if that sidebar is activated, what we could do is we could have the sidebar navigated. So right here, you could have dash sidebar. So dash sidebar. Okay. So basically, I believe it's imported on the top. Awesome. Same thing goes for this profile. If the profile is there, we could just have the dash profile component. Dash profile component. Okay, and this is the so on. So I'm going to show basically it's going to contain things like over here dash sidebar, right? When you say dash profile, you can see dash sidebar, and you can see that there's this conditional thing, right? We go to the profile, we still somehow have dashboard sidebar, but basically dash profile has to appear based on this condition. So if I have tab is equal to profile, then I want to basically show dash profile, right? Yeah. So that's basically something that needs to be considered here. Dash sidebar, dash profile of now let's go back here in the dash sidebar, and what we need here is also very similar things. So let's go here. You can see over here we're going to change this to sidebar. Okay, this is from React Flow. What is it called? Control space. So I think this one. No, we're gonna have to import it. So over here, import sidebar. From React Flow byte. Okay, I don't know why it's not coming. Okay, so okay, basically it's called Flow byte React. Flow byte hyphen React. Okay, so now this is going to be from the sidebar there. Now over here we have a sidebar, and in here we could have a class name set to width of full. Okay, and then we have for medium devices and onwards you could have a width of 56. Now the thing here is this thing. So dashboard sidebar could change to sidebar items. So sidebar dot items. Now this is going to be the sidebar items. Let me just quickly show you how it's going to look like. So 1 second. Right here we're going to put in our things. Go back here. This is how the sidebar looks like. You see this thing? Let me just put it on the right. Show this on the left. Sidebar items, and we'll have sidebar dot group item group. Okay, and then we have over here we have okay, so one other thing is that we have to basically look at the current user, right? So we have to get the current user state. We could use selector, import use selector, and that is from React Redux. It's basically React Redux. Initialize the use selector const user is equal to use selector, and then we have state. Okay, and then we're gonna have state dot user. Okay, we could say if the user exists, right? You could call this as current user, so that you could understand, well, current user, current user. If the current user exists and the current user and then we have this link. So this link tag. Okay, the link takes to the dashboard board question tab is equal to dash. Okay, now one thing you're going to see over here is that the current user somehow exists. You'll see that. So sidebar the item, and we'll have active is equal to tab profile. So now this is going to have the profile as the active tab in the dash sidebar, right? I'll show you what it looks like. So right now everything is convoluted, but just let me complete everything. And we'll have icon as hi icon. You want to import this as well. Hi user, sorry. You're going to import this. So import hi user. Okay, React. And the same thing goes for right here you could just say label, and you could just have it set to user. It's right now at default. We're just going to change it to admin. Label color we could change to you know, dark. This is all like customizations that that Flowbyte provides. So this is our sidebar. Okay, now there's still an error. Link. Okay. Sidebar item. Now we basically needed to add a text. Over here we have like this, and over here we need to call it like profile or something like that. Okay. Okay, so we have this link. Okay. Awesome. I basically had to do one thing. Current user and link to dashboard dash sidebar item tab is equal to dash. Okay, it's basically dash, and you know, we have icon is high chart, so not high user but high chart pi. This also we need to import. Okay, and as div. So let's just remove this too, and we could call this as dashboard. Dashboard. Okay, so now let me see what happened here. What's the problem here? So we have go on the top. I mean, you could go all the way to the top or the bottom. So you can see over here, link is not defined. Perfect. So import. All this issue is coming because of link not defined from React router DOM. Still one more problem. Now it says unreferenced tab is not defined. So which line? At dash sidebar 17. Okay. You could basically, you know, you get the current thing, you know, the current state and all that. Essentially this entire thing, you could get the use location and all, and bring it right here. Okay, so of course we're gonna have to put in from React router DOM. You could actually just import it with it. So use location. Okay, and we have use effect, use state, and use effect. Okay. Okay, I believe everything is working now. This is our dashboard. You can see over here, dashboard. Click on it, and then it clicks on and takes us to the dash. We have to now actually use this item. So this item group. So this one, sidebar item group, and in here we have this current item group, sidebar.item group, and right here we have to add in another item group. So sidebar.item, you know, sidebar.item group, and in here we have current user and sidebar. Yeah, this one. So link. And then we have sidebar.item. Same thing. We have to add another link, and basically right after this one, we could just say this thing: link to dashboard tab profile. Sidebar.item tab is equal to profile high user. Yeah, so we don't need this. We can just call this as user as well. Okay, so label is equal to user. We're not gonna have the dark and div. We could just remove this, and now we have the profile. So you can see over here, this looks super good. Okay, so this is perfectly done. We now just need, remember the dashboard, we actually need a class here defined. So minimum height screen. Check this out. Now all of that went downwards. Flex. Okay, now it's over here, This is going to look so cool. Flex column. This is for small devices. It's going to go on top of each other, but when devices are bigger, like MEMD, and it's going to go side by side. So flex hyphen row. Okay, now the same thing goes here. We have over here div, and we have equal to. So we have div class name, and we'll have it MD. From medium devices to a bit bigger, we have width of 56. Okay, now check this out. So now it looks good, and then we have this part over here. So click on profile, it takes you to the dash profile and the dashboard. So this is exactly what we wanted to create. Now we have to create our dash profile. Over here we're going to have to create our profile UI. That's in our next one.